Packers' defensive domination. 8 sacks frustrate the Titans' offense. On a memorable afternoon at Lambeau Field, the Green Bay Packers showed the world that their defense is ready to be the backbone of a team aiming not just for the playoffs, but for the Super Bowl. In the matchup against the Tennessee Titans, a consistently dangerous opponent, what unfolded was a defensive showcase, with the Packers unit commanding the game and suffocating the opposing offense. 8 sacks weren't just stats, they were statements of intent, proving that Green Bay is willing to do whatever it takes to achieve its goals. From the opening whistle, it was clear the Packers' game plan involved pressuring Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill. The defense, led by coordinator Joe Barry, moved like a finely tuned machine, attacking every gap in Tennessee's offensive line, which had no answers for Green Bay's relentless aggression. Every time Tannehill prepared to throw, it seemed as though a green and gold jersey would materialize in his line of sight, limiting his options and time to make decisions. The tide turns. 8 sacks and a dream dashed. What made the Packers' defensive performance so special was its consistency throughout the entire game. This wasn't just a quarter or a brief moment of brilliance. It was a full-on domination. Right in the Titans' opening drive, Rashawn Gary, one of the defense's most dynamic players, made his presence known, dispatching the offensive tackle with ease and sacking Tannehill for the first time. That initial sack set the tone, and the Titans knew they were in for a long, grueling night. Once the first domino fell, the Packers' defense seemed hungrier for more. Jaire Alexander, the team's star cornerback, joined in the action with a surprise blitz, slicing through the middle of the line and forcing Tannehill to backpedal into a second sack. Known primarily for his elite coverage skills, Alexander showed he could be a lethal weapon near the line of scrimmage as well, adding yet another layer to Green Bay's defensive playbook. As the Titans' offensive line scrambled to adjust, Kenny Clark, the formidable defensive tackle, reminded everyone why he's one of the most feared players in the NFL. With an explosive burst that reverberated through the stadium, Clark bulldozed his way through 2 blockers and practically swallowed Tannehill in a play that symbolized the complete breakdown of Tennessee's offense. This third sack was a turning point for the Titans, whose attack seemed utterly disoriented from that moment on. But the Packers were far from finished. In fact, the third quarter became the peak of their defensive prowess. Filling every gap, linebackers Preston Smith and Quay Walker harassed Tannehill from all sides, leaving no room for adjustments in the Titans' passing game. Walker, a rising young talent, brought speed and aggression to the defensive scheme, racking up 2 more consecutive sacks that had Lambeau Field roaring in approval. With the Titans pushed further and further back, their offense began to play with a sense of fear, avoiding any riskier plays. A night to remember. Stars shine bright. If the Packers' defense was the star of the night, players like Rashawn Gary, Jaire Alexander, and Kenny Clark deserved the spotlight. Rashawn Gary was simply unstoppable, pressuring Tannehill on nearly every passing play. His ability to break through blocks and his tireless motor have him ranked among the top pass rushers in the league today. Beyond the sacks, Gary forced numerous errant throws and incomplete passes, directly contributing to the Titans' offensive collapse. Jaire Alexander, in addition to his sack, once again showed why he's considered one of the NFL's best cornerbacks. With impeccable coverage in the passing game, he virtually erased the Titans' top receiver, Treylon Burks, from the game. Every time the ball was thrown Burks' way, Alexander was right there, either forcing a mistake or simply ensuring the pass never reached its target. Kenny Clark was another crucial piece in this defensive puzzle. He dominated the middle of the line, consistently collapsing Tannehill's pocket and forcing the quarterback to make quick, pressured decisions. Clark is one of those players who, even when not filling the stat sheet, makes an enormous impact through his physical presence and ability to read the opposing offense. A warning to the league: the Packers are coming. This defensive performance by the Packers cannot be viewed as just a one-off win. It was a statement of intent, a reminder that this team is more than just its offense, which has traditionally been Green Bay's focus. The defense proved that it's ready to carry the team when necessary, and this balance may be the key to a successful season. Joe Barry, the defensive coordinator, deserves a ton of credit for the work he's done. Since his arrival, he's transformed what was once an inconsistent defensive unit into a true force to be reckoned with. Barry's utilization of players like Rashawn Gary, Jair Alexander, and Kenny Clark showcases his ability to maximize the talent at his disposal. He's also managed to seamlessly integrate rising young stars like Quay Walker, ensuring the defense has depth and versatility to combat any offensive scheme. If the Packers' offense, led by young quarterback Jordan Love, continues to develop, the sky's the limit for this team. The defense has already proven it can dominate, and with a consistent offense, Green Bay is positioning itself as one of the most dangerous teams in the NFL this season. The Titans' struggles. On the other side, the Titans now face serious questions about their offensive line. Ryan Tannehill simply had no time or space to operate, and while he did what he could to avoid disaster, the collapse of protection was glaring. The lack of an answer for the Packers' pressure raises concerns about the Titans' ability to compete against elite defenses as the season progresses. Head coach Mike Vrabel has a lot of work ahead to fix the issues exposed in this game. Without a functioning offensive line, Tennessee's offense, which relies on quick and efficient plays, will be severely compromised. Finding solutions will be the top priority in the coming weeks, as the Titans cannot afford a repeat of such a lackluster performance. Conclusion: a night for the history books. For Packers fans, this was one of those nights that will be remembered for a long time. 8 sacks against a competitive team like the Titans aren't just a statistic. They're a milestone of how this Green Bay team is coming together. Each sack felt like a step toward the future the Packers dream of, the Super Bowl. With a defense of this caliber and a promising offense, Green Bay is on an upward trajectory. The NFL has been put on notice. The Packers are here, and with a dominant defense, they're ready to take on any opponent brave enough to stand in their way.